Hey guys, my name is James Walsh, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter here on YouTube. I want to thank you for finding us. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. And if you get the chance on this video, click the like button. If you do, it'll turn blue. Check it out. Also, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for all this great content available in MP3 format, our online store that'll keep us going free and clear, daily news updates, as well as all the information from the history of professional wrestling you could possibly ever want. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com online right now. Without any delay, let's get to your interview here on the Wrestling Epicenter. So here's a rare gem. It is a 2008 Impact Wrestling TNA media call with Karen Angle at the time, soon to be Karen Jarrett. Very interesting, and I remember right around this time she had put out a t-shirt that was her in lingerie, and it said something in the background. In fact, I have a picture of it. I'll put it up on the screen as we do this prelim. Good time guaranteed. And I remember thinking when I first saw the shirt, whoa, is this like the new booking agency for Imp? It'll make money. Really weird shirt design, which was pulled almost immediately because the people involved, namely Karen Angle and Jeff Jarrett, didn't like it. I can understand why, but it was a nice picture, and we have some pictures from that shoot and some other stuff here for you as a slideshow as we do this media call with Karen Angle, Karen Jarrett from 2008, as we look back here from the perch in 2021. Enjoy.
Hey, this is the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, and founder of Global Force Wrestling. And you're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody once again to the monthly TNA Wrestling Spike TV teleconference as we prepare for Against All Odds this Sunday night at the Bilo Center in Greenville, South Carolina. Of course, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Kurt Angle against Christian Cage. Samoa Joe will be the special enforcer. The tag team match with AJ Tomko against BG James and Bullet Bob Armstrong. Several other matches, of course, Bobby Roode, Booker T, and our special guest will be there in person and hopefully trying to get some cookie dough, which is her favorite treat. Let me welcome Karen Angle.
Hello.
This time we, of course, would like to welcome anybody with questions for Karen Angle.
Your first question comes from the line of Steve Wilson.
Hi, Karen. Pleasure to speak with you today.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I guess we'll start off with somewhat of an obvious question in that what has it meant to you personally to have had Kurt and now yourself make the jump over to TNA?
Oh my gosh, that's going to be a long answer. It has actually meant everything. I'm sure everybody realizes the situation Kurt was in and being on the road over 300 days a year. And as I've told Dixie Carter and told everyone else, Dixie was an angel that was sent to my family. TNA has given Kurt his life back. He's healthier than he's ever been. Dixie is an amazing, amazing businesswoman, person, mother. She sets a great example for women out there. And it's also given me the opportunity that I can be home with my kids. I can also have a job, have my own career where I can have my kids with me. And Jeff Jarrett, on the other hand, is, I think, also an amazing person who has done something that in all of the years of other wrestling companies being in the business, you know, he walked away from something and didn't go crying back. He had bigger, whatever you want to call him, than pretty much everyone else in the business, and he created something for these other men and women that, you know, they have another place that they can go where they can pursue other opportunities and they can have a life and they can be happy, and the atmosphere there is just awesome.
Your next question comes from the line of Wade Neum.
Hi, Karen. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic right now. Thank you for asking. My first question here is, what is your role going to be this Sunday at Against All Odds in both the tag title match and the TNA World title match?
Well, I'm always there to support my husband. I'm always, there to do whatever I can to get him motivated, get his adrenaline going, and one of my biggest concerns is Samojo being the enforcer there, so I'm going to definitely have to keep my eye on him. And at the same time, AJ Styles, he's pretty much on my bad boy list right now, along with Tomko, so I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that situation. I am looking forward to both matches, though, along with the TNA Women's Championship match. And I'm just going to do everything that Karen Angle knows how to do and pretty much take care of the business that I need to take care of.
How has Kurt been training for his match with Christian Cage this Sunday, and how are you helping him prepare?
He has been training really hard. One of the best do the house shows.
Okay.
So it's great. I'm able to go to TVs. I'm willing to do the house shows. Even with the house shows, it's still a limited schedule that, isn't anywhere near, you wouldn't be even working half the days that Kurt did in his previous company. So, I think the house shows are great. It's great for the other entertainers that work for the company, and you know what? It just shows how well TNA is doing. The more house shows you're able to book, now we're having pay-per-views in different states. I think it shows how much TNA is growing.
Right. They mentioned earlier in the call here about your foot injury. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Can you repeat that question? I couldn't hear you.
Could you elaborate a little more on your foot injury that you occurred a couple weeks ago?
It was just a crazy, I always just hop out of the ring. I don't go down the steps. I hop out of the ring, and my heel got caught on the mat and just turned, and I looked at Kurt, and I was like, I can't walk. So he just immediately picked me up and took me back, and, then went to the hospital and found out it was broke.
So I'm glad you're having a successful recovery of that.
Yeah.
I've got just one last question. You've done several photo shoots, as they mentioned earlier, too, with the TNA website.
Yeah.
And of course, you're very gorgeous. Do you have a modeling history, a modeling background?
I did. Actually, when I met Kurt, I was doing just some local modeling, and again, he had left his job as a news anchor, a sports news anchor here in Pittsburgh, and had signed with the WWE, and we weren't really making a lot of money then. So it was my responsibility to kind of help to pay the bills, and I kind of put that to the side and, was working 2 jobs, and, our focus was Kurt starting his career.
Okay, well, Karen, that's all I have. Thank you very much for speaking with us today, and I wish you and Kurt both the best of luck with your careers.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Michael Johnson.
Hi, Karen. How are you today?
Hi, Mike. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was curious, who first suggested that you be brought onto TNA as an on-camera role?
Well, I had actually had the idea of Kurt doing something with my daughter, trying to make him look like this, mean guy that he is. Like, I guess I can say, I'm not sure I'm finding the right word for it. But, and then I think it was Vince Russo and Jeff Jarrett.
Were you surprised that the character ended up having the longevity that it's had so far? I mean, earlier in the conference call, you said that it was just supposed to be a short-term thing, and now you're a major part of their weekly TV every week. Are you surprised by the longevity so far?
I definitely am. But I think, the storylines, again, with the creative team and Vince Russo, they're doing a great job. I think the stuff is very entertaining. We're having fun with it. And like I said before, keep watching the next few months, because it's probably going to be some of the best TV that TNA has had.
Right. Now, you've had some really good chemistry on camera, not only with Kurt, but with Jeremy Borash and The recent stuff with AJ has had some good interplay back and forth. Given the type of role that you're playing, and that you're on screen, you're Karen Angle, the character, as well as Karen Angle, the person in real life, is there ever any concern over being too risque or doing something too risque, since you're not playing a fictional character, but you're playing an extension of yourself? Stuff like the AJ Styles seduction or the attempted seduction of Kevin Nash. Do you ever sit back and go, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, or veto something that's suggested to you?
You know what, so far, I really, you're watching a show that's on from 9 to 11 at night. Being a wrestling fan for the years that I've been, and seeing what I've seen, compared to the other things that have been on, previous wrestling company shows, I don't feel that we've reached that point. Yes, I've done some risque photo shoots. That's a photo shoot where I'm working there with Lee South. It's, closed door. Would I ever be on television in what I'm wearing in those photo shoots? No. There definitely are lines that I will not cross, but I don't feel that we've reached that point.
From the point Kurt left WWE until today, there's always been a lot of concern about his health and his well-being.
Right.
He's had a number of neck problems stemming back from even when he was competing collegiately. What's the status of his neck? How is he feeling? And how much longer? You've said there were a number of times you wanted him to walk away. How much longer, as his wife, do you want to see him continue to compete physically?
As I have said before, he has not been healthier than he is right now in 11 years. I can look at him and see him doing this for another 10 or 15 years. I mean, this is what he loves. He has a passion for it, and he's great at it. I think he's proven that over and over and over again. As I've said before, do I think Kurt would be where he is if he was not with TNA? Do I think he would be as healthy as he is today? Hell no, definitely not. But he is with TNA. He is healthy, and I see him doing this for a long time. And in all honesty, I can't picture myself with the way he feels today, looking at him and saying, "Honey, I think you need to quit."
I'm sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
Hypothetically, if Kurt came to you and said he had a WWE offer and wanted to go back full time, what would be your reaction?
Definitely 100% no. There would be no question about it.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Jim Versalone.
Karen,
hi, Jim.
Hi. How do you and Kurt deal with this whole newfound success for you? Because it's always been Kurt, people will go up to Kurt, now they're going up to you. Was it even a little bit of adjustment for him to have to make, or no?
Well, in previous years, it would be, if I would go to appearances with him or be out in public, it was always, the guys are asking for his autograph, and then he'd be like, "Can I get your picture with your wife?" So we always kind of had that, but he has been so incredibly supportive. And he, as he said, he loves me being there. He gets to be taken care of on the road. He's not by himself anymore. His wife's there doing whatever he needs. So, it's been, honestly, everything has been incredible. It couldn't have gone better than what it has. And, again, we get to have our family there with us. So he has been 100% supportive and wants me to keep doing this and wants me to take it wherever I can.
How much input do you have in your character?
You know what? Kurt has an incredible relationship with Jeff Jarrett and Vince Russo. And they all work together, and I pretty much, I do what my personality is my character. Do I act like that at home? No, but I've been able to portray, I guess, what they've wanted me to. And I think Vince just pretty much knows what I am capable of, what I can do, and I really haven't had to put any extra input in except for the acting.
You had mentioned about WWE and that there really wasn't any option for you to get involved with WWE. Was that more WWE's part? Was that more of you guys just not wanting to do something like that at that time? No interest in it?
It had been mentioned a few times over the years about me being involved. And, in the beginning when Kurt signed with that company, I was starstruck like everybody else. He's there with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. But when you truly love someone and you truly care about them, that's not an atmosphere that you want them to live. I mean, it's obviously, a great money-making company, but when you see someone on the road like that and beating themselves up and coming home just incredibly exhausted, I wasn't a fan of that atmosphere.
Seeing how well you've done, any thoughts of what do you think WWE is saying at this point?
To be honest with you, I could really care less.
And also I wanted to know what you thought of when Kurt had to portray himself in a different way. He did some goofy thing when he was with WWE.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts of that and how he handled that, did that?
I think he has done amazing at everything he has done. He can be intense. He can be funny. There's not a lot of people in this business that can carry that off or can go from being intense one week to being able to be funny the next week and still being able to carry it all off and to sell it. And I think he's done an amazing job with that. And I think some of the best stuff he has ever done was with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And lastly, Karen, would you ever do Playboy?
No.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Scott Slimmer.
Hey, Karen, this is Scott from 411 Mania. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, thanks. I wanted to ask a couple questions about the direction TNA is heading. What was your view, Kurt's view, and sort of the view backstage of the success of the recent Japan show and the International Impact special?
I mean, it shows how amazing the people are that are working for the company. I mean, this is just the beginning of where they can go and what they can do. Everybody's very pumped, very excited, and like I've said, this TNA is WWE's biggest competition that they have ever seen. This company is growing, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep going. And the talent that they have there, and now that, we have a 2-hour show, we can show that talent. And people can go out there, and you have time to carry off different storylines. These guys have time to have incredible, incredible matches, along with the women. Everyone in TNA is pumped. They're excited. Kurt's actually on a UK tour now doing promotions for that. So, this is just the beginning.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask about two more rumors that have been floating around concerning the future of TNA, one being a Knockouts exclusive hour of television, and the other being live episodes of Impact, possibly every other week. What has been the talk backstage, and what would it mean for TNA to have those two additions to its show?
This is actually the first that I have heard of it. I haven't heard of any of that going around backstage, but obviously, I think it would be incredible for TNA, and I think the women deserve it. They are working hard, they are busting their butts, and they're not just pretty girls out there. They have proven that they can work, they can carry on, a 10-minute, 15-minute match, and you have these fans out there, chanting, "Holy shit," or standing on their feet. These women in TNA have proven that they're just as tough as these guys are.
Okay, and then my last question, having seen the industry from a couple different points of view, from the side of WWE, from the side of TNA, having changed your opinion of what life can be like in the industry, if in 15, 20 years your own children say to you, maybe this is something we'd like to pursue, what would you say to them?
As long as they go to TNA, I would be 100% supportive of it.
Okay, thanks a lot, Karen.
Thank you.
Your final question comes from the line of Kenai Andrews.
Hi, Karen. How you doing today?
I'm great.
I'm doing great. It's Kenai Andrews from Slam Wrestling. Just a few questions for you.
Okay.
The first thing I wanted to know was, you've mentioned your children several times during the conference call.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what was their, or how has their reactions been during the last couple of months with the angles and the things that you've been doing? Have they been able to separate, the fact from the fiction, or?
Well, obviously my son is 16 months old, so he pretty much doesn't watch it, or he's in bed at 7 o'clock and wouldn't understand it if he did.
Right.
My daughter, there's certain things we let her watch. There's certain things that we don't. It's obviously on at 9 o'clock at night. We tape it. She's obviously been on a few times and will probably be on a few more. But we try to monitor what she watches. There's certain things that I don't want her to see me doing. I mean, she's 5 years old. She couldn't understand. One of the funny things was Charmel and I got into a confrontation, and Kira was there, and she was watching, and we got backstage, and she told Charmel and I both that we did a great job. She understands that, what Daddy has done and what Dad, she gets the concept of it, and she knows, that this is a show. Daddy's going out there and he's performing, but we definitely monitor what she can and can't watch.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you haven't been doing it for a long time, but I was just curious in terms of the people that you have learned from, in terms of transitioning to being one of the main event people there. Is there a couple of people maybe that you've learned maybe the most from? And if you have,
I'll give you, from both ends of it, is I think every girl who's grown up watching wrestling, wants to be an Elizabeth. I thought she was incredible at what she did. And then on the other end of it, you have Sherry Martel, who was one of the best valet in all of wrestling. I think her expressions, her reactions, I think Elizabeth, the way she carried herself, so I would definitely say that those two, I would pick those two.
And from your vantage point, have you heard any discussions from the people at the top in terms of TNA doing more shows in Canada?
I definitely think, I haven't heard anything, but we have a lot of TNA fans there. The shows that have been in Canada have done very, very well. So, I definitely think that you will see that in the future.
And finally, do you have any advice for Bobby Knight?
Bobby Knight, watch out for Kurt Angle.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. He's certainly familiar with the chairs, but that's all I had. I really thank you for your time today, Karen. Pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
There actually is another question from the line of King Georgian.
Good afternoon, Karen. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Okay. Can you give me a day in the life of a WWE wrestler? Like Kurt's going...
How about if I give you a day in the life of a TNA wrestler?
Well, I want to know what a WWE compared to a TNA wrestler goes through.
Okay. Well, I think, looking at the life of a wrestler in WWE, you're traveling 3 to 4 hours, either the night before or the morning of. You're getting to the arena at 11:30, 1 o'clock. You're there until midnight or after. You're driving to the next city, whereas with TNA, you're in Orlando, or, you have house shows that they're smarter about booking, I should say, where these guys aren't, functioning on 3 hours of sleep. And it's just a better, all-around better working atmosphere. Better traveling, just everything, it's healthier. It's healthier, it's happier. I don't know what else besides the things that I've said beforehand. It's just a better working atmosphere.
Do you think the working atmosphere of the WWE leads the WWE wrestlers to take excess amount of prescription pills to keep them awake and aboard and stuff?
I really would just, rather not comment on that. You know, all I can say is that, you know, where Kurt is now, he's happy and he is healthy.
Okay. How do you feel about the women's division in the rival WWE compared to the TNA division?
Oh, gosh, I think the TNA girls definitely, you know, tower above the talent that the women in WWE have. And I think, you know, our girls have proven that. Look at, you know, a couple months ago and look at now how much they're on TV, how much they're being showcased, you know, the requests for appearances from them. I mean, they are amazing, amazing women that are focused, and, you know, I don't even think they've tapped into what these girls are capable of doing, and I have nothing but 100% respect for all of them for how hard they work and how dedicated they are.
How do you feel of what Scott Hall pulled a couple months back?
You know what, I really, you know, I don't know Scott, I don't know the whole situation, so I'd rather not comment on that.
Chris Benoit, do you have any explanation? I know Kurt was very close with him. Can you?
You know what? I think it was just a sad thing that happened, and that's, you know, really all I can say about that.
Are you coming to the New York City show?
I will not be at the New York City show. I will not, but Kurt will be there kicking ass.
Yes, he will. I just want to say you're wonderful on television. It's a pleasure to see you week in and week out. Your ratings have been going up.
They are.
The women, I noticed, on the women's segments have been very high.
Yes, yes. They're doing a great job, and, you know, like I said, we've only seen the beginning of them.
Yes, and I want to thank you and Kurt for coming to TNA, and thank you for everything.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Your next question is a follow-up question from the line of Rich Jones.
Hey, Karen, I actually thought of a few more while listening to you talk, and plus you're such a gorgeous knockout, I had to stay on the phone with you a little bit longer.
Thank you.
Real quick question. I got three real quick ones. Did you have any theater training before you started this? Was there any, you know, did you have aspirations to act?
You know, I did, but like I said, you know, when Kurt and I, you know, first got married, you know, it was kind of like where you say the women step back and the men do what they, you know, you let them do their thing. That was kind of the situation we were in, and we had his niece, and, you know, I was taking care of everybody at home. So, you know, like I said, now this has been the perfect opportunity for me to be able to have my own career, have my family and my husband, and be able to take care of them and also do something for myself.
Well, great. This is a national platform, and people are seeing you for the first time, and they're really realizing what a knockout you really are. And I think that the sky's the limit for you, even beyond wrestling possibly, because you just have a great look.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Another quick, is Kurt as intense at home as he is on TV? Because we watch the Pros versus Joes, and he scared the heck out of us.
Was he not awesome on that?
Yeah, he was.
I think he was amazing, and they had to cut a lot out. You know, I mean, Kurt is a very sweet, loving father, but he is intense. From the age of 5, he has competed, and you know, whether you put him on a movie set, on a TV set, in a ring, he is going to give you 200%. So, you know, the intensity when he's downstairs in our gym working out, yeah, he's very intense. Not all the time. You know, you put my kids in front of him and he's a daddy. But when he's in his work mode, yeah, he's intense within whatever he's doing. Hello?
You now have a follow-up question from the line of Scott Slimmer.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, just a couple quick follow-ups to what we've been talking about. You know, one of the things that TNA has always said is that, you know, they are the alternative to WWE. They are the home of wrestling. And Kurt, has been billed as the best real wrestler in the world. Right. Yet a lot of what we've talked about today on the call has been the entertainment aspect of it all. Right. Your role as an entertainer, Kurt's role as being funny and serious. Where does TNA and Kurt and you draw that line between the importance of the in-ring action and Kurt's abilities in the ring and the role of the entertainment surrounding all of it?
Well, I mean, I think, obviously you being a fan watching the show and, watching the backstage segments or watching the segments where he is talking and he is in the ring, he can do all of that, and you can throw him in the ring for a 60-minute match, a 30-minute match, a 20-minute match, and he is going to be able to perform at that level. Kurt can go for 30 minutes and not get blown up. Can a lot of these guys do that? No. But I think right now, you feel out the fans, you feel out, what the ratings are, and obviously there's more the entertainment aspect of it going on right now that people want to see. But then, he's still able to go out in the ring and perform and have incredible matches. So, I think it's just Vince Russo and Jeff Jarrett have been very, very on in figuring out what the fans want and what Kurt and the other talent in TNA are capable of and what they should be doing.
Excellent. And then finally, from your time in TNA so far, first, what's been your favorite moment or your favorite, promo so far? And second, who would you like to work with in the future that you really think you might have some good chemistry with in TNA?
Oh, gosh. My favorite moment. I would have to say probably just the first night when I went out, and I was so nervous. And walking back and having, the other TNA talent there, and Vince Russo, Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter, and everybody was just so proud and so happy that I was able to carry that off. And I did what they needed me to do for the show. Who I would like to work with in the future, I think ODB is incredibly entertaining. I'm having a great time working with AJ, Miss Brooks, and definitely I think you haven't seen the last of Charmel and I.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Karen.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You now have a follow-up question from the line of Steve Wilson.
Hello again.
Hi, Steve.
Mention was made of Kurt being involved in the Pros and Joes, and in relation to that, I remember a recent rumor, if you will, that there was talk of you possibly being featured in a reality TV show, and if there is any truth to that, that you could address that, and if not, would you ever like to be involved in some sort of reality show that shows your life right now and how the very interesting life that you lead?
There is truth to that, and I did go out a few months back, and I shot a pilot for VH1. It was called Greenhouse. I was offered a part on the show, but considering that it's a reality show and you would have to leave your family, I had to pass on that, and I had to turn that project down. So there was truth to that.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And there are no further questions at this time.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. We will talk to you next month.
Hey guys, my name is James Walsh, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter here on YouTube. I want to thank you for finding us. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. And if you get the chance on this video, click the like button. If you do, it'll turn blue. Check it out. Also, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for all this great content available in MP3 format, our online store that'll keep us going free and clear, daily news updates, as well as all the information from the history of professional wrestling you could possibly ever want. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com online right now. Without any delay, let's get to your interview here on the Wrestling Epicenter.